Hey there, it's Marie Forleo with another segment of spiritual stuff. So this comes in the form of a little story, and it was actually really, it's kind of even hard for me to talk about because it brings up a lot of stuff. But on July 4th, we lost Kuma. But then we found him! Yes! Okay, so here's what happened. Here's the deal. So my brother and his girlfriend came up to our house in Sag Harbor for 4th of July weekend. Josh and I went to do some yoga, and so we left Kuma with my brother, who also has a dog. So there's this big, huge English bulldog and little tiny Kuma hanging out in the backyard. Again, remember, 4th of July weekend. Kuma's 8 months old. Apparently, firework went off and totally freaked Kuma out. And he did something that he's never done before, which is fucking bolt. He ran away. He ran outside of our yard, and Josh and I were driving back from yoga, and I see my brother walking down the street. Like, my brother's a pretty tan dude, like big dude, just looks miserable, white, and like panic stricken. And his girlfriend Kelly was freaking crying, and we're like, what is happening? They're like, Kuma ran away. Firework went off. He ran off. We can't find him. My stomach dropped. Thank God I just went to yoga, because something in me felt like everything's gonna be okay. And I was like, am I just totally zenned out, or am I crazy right now? But whatever, let's just go with it. So we spent the next 2 hours, driving around the neighborhood, asking people, and as time goes on, everything just started feeling worse and worse. I called the local radio station, I called the police, we did everything that we could. And about 2 hours had gone by, and Josh and I sat and we said, okay, what's the next action we need to take? So we sat down and we started making handwritten signs that says lost dog, his name is Kuma, and with our phone numbers on it and everything. And so we got in the car and we started driving around. We put up like 2 or 3 signs, and then we said, let's go to this little local place called Cromer's. It's a tiny little like deli / grocery store in the neighborhood, but it's about a mile away. Now, a mile away across a very busy road, we're like, we figured just if anyone finds them, maybe they'd be there. So we're driving up and we get into Cromer's and we pull into the parking lot, and a lady was standing there holding Kuma in her hand, and he was like, we're like, holy shit. I just broke down. Obviously we found him, we brought him back home, it was fine. The interesting thing is, he's such a smart little guy. That's the only place in town that he knows of. Like, we drive there to get groceries, and he doesn't know where yoga is, so he couldn't go there. Anyway, we get back to the house, we tell my brother and Kelly, we found the dog, everyone's so happy, we took down the signs, we called the radio station, everything's cool. Then it hit what I call emotional hangover. We had an emotional hangover. I remember thinking to myself, there was a couple of hours before we were going to go to the beach and hang out, and I've had a lot of work to do lately, a lot of writing and creating and things to do, and I was like, God, I should be working right now. Kuma's back, everything's fine, everything's cool. And I was like, you know what? Girlfriend needs to take a friggin' nap. I was exhausted. One of the things that happens if you have an emotionally charged situation, God forbid, a death, a loss in the family, a move, something just devastating happens to you in your life, your adrenal system just goes on fire. And especially for women who can just take a lot of emotion, and we have it up here, and when our adrenal system gets taxed, you feel exhausted. If you happen to be anything of like a workaholic like I am, you may feel like, oh, I should be over this right now, or feel guilty because everything's okay, or feel like you should be coping better. And what I've learned is that when you have an emotional hangover, you really need to chillax. Like, you need to chill the fuck out and just give yourself a little bit of time to take a rest, to eat really healthy and nutritious food, to reach out to people that you love and just let them know that maybe you're having a little bit of a hard time and you just need a little extra support. But most of all, it's like you have to take care of your body. Emotional hangover, think about it. If you went and tossed back like 5 or 6 margaritas the night before, you'd sleep in because your body needs the rest and it needs to recover. Same thing is true with emotional hangovers. So if you've had an emotional hangover yourself, if you've ever experienced anything like this, I would love to hear your story. And plus, if you have tips on how you deal with an emotional hangover, things that, help you just kind of move along faster to really take care of your body and just be good to yourself, leave a comment below. Would love to hear about it. And of course, like it if you like it. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. So thank you so much once again for watching, and I will see you next time.